One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everyone, welcome back to Music with Ryan. Thanks for joining me. Today is Free Lesson Tuesday, and as you just saw and heard, we're going to work on a fingerstyle lesson, okay? A very basic beginner style arrangement. For those of you looking to get into more, again, fingerstyle, Travis style picking, or some bluesy style finger picking, this is going to be a great lesson. We're going to work heavily on getting the thumb to do the alternate bass through the A chord, the E chord, and the D chord, and just do a simple progression with a very simple melody. It's all going to be quarter notes, so you're going to be just doing pinching and or just working on the thumb, getting that alternate bass down, okay? So if you'd like to download the tabs, you need to be a member at the site. So if you're already a free member at the site, they'll be right on the lesson page. If not, there's a link down below, either YouTube or Facebook. Should be a link down there. You sign up as a free member, and you can download the PDF tabs and the video for this lesson. And I'm going to walk through this whole video here on YouTube or Facebook. I'm going to walk through the whole thing regardless. But again, if you want to access the tabs and over 50 free lessons at my site, I come out with new lessons, free ones that is, every month, along with featured lessons. Give it a look. The free member area, it's easy to do, lots of cool stuff. So today we're going to do a fingerstyle arrangement, beginning, kind of again, Travis style, bluesy, fingerstyle. And then what I'm going to do on Friday, I always have a feature lesson on Fridays, I'm going to make it a more intermediate arrangement of this. So we'll add some more eighth notes, some hammer-ons, and some slides to so you can kind of build up this arrangement, this little study piece, to get you going again in this bluesy fingerstyle or Travis style picking. All right, so if you're watching, months down the line, I'll have a couple links down there below of when the intermediate lesson comes out. But for now, we're going to walk through the whole thing, the beginning arrangement for it. Again, I'm calling it Sweet and Nice Fingerstyle Blues in A. Let's give it a look. Here we go. Thanks for watching. All right, so let's go ahead and start walking through the beginning arrangement here for Sweet and Nice. That's what I'm calling it, Sweet and Nice Fingerstyle Blues in A, okay? And again, this is a beginning arrangement. And we're going to be focusing a lot on the alternating thumb or the alternating bass using the thumb in kind of this Travis style finger picking, okay? And we're going to work our way into a more bluesy arrangement here. So this is the beginning one, and you'll see an intermediate one down the line for this same piece. Also take note of the markings below the staff are the right hand fingerings, okay? And I use a term called PIMA. If you've watched my lessons, you've heard me talk about it, but it's a classical term. And it's P for thumb, I for index, M for middle, and A for ring, okay? And this arrangement, we're just going to be using thumb, index, and middle throughout most of the piece. We have all quarter notes. We have some pinching here a little bit, but we're going to be focusing on that alternate bass with the thumb for each chord, okay? And then just playing a simple melody on top. So let's dive in here. I'm going to play these first few measures, and then we'll break them down. So, ready, go. And also take note, I am doing some palm muting, and it kind of helps with the thump in the drive, and it gives it a little bit to me, a little bit more of a bluesy flavor. Now, I'm not going to go into that right away here. I'm going to go down the line. I'll talk about that because that takes a little time to develop, but I want to get right in on the thumb and just this arrangement for those of you, again, looking to just kind of tackle your first fingerstyle or Travis style picking piece. So, there at the beginning, the first measure, I'm pinching the open A and the B string, 2nd fret. Okay, so we're on an A chord. I'm kind of barring an A over here in the left hand. And then the thumb's gonna play the D string, second fret, and then the low E, and back to the E string, or the D string, second fret. Okay, so that first measure, if you're new to fingerstyle, I take that first measure and put it on repeat. So the thumb is going for the A chord, it's going A string, D string, E string, D string. And that's the pattern for the A chord. So just even doing that is great practice for beginners out there, okay? You want to be able to do that in your sleep, and it takes some time. Took me some time to get it. So, and I'm not even playing the melody yet, right? I'm just doing the thumb. Okay, so then I go to the second measure, and it's almost the same, but I'm gonna add a melody note in there. So the second measure, I'm gonna pinch the open A, and then the second fret G string, which is an A note as well. And then the thumb's gonna continue to do its thing. Okay, so the first two measures are the same as measures 3 and 4. Second measure. The first measure I pinched with the thumb in the middle, and then the second measure I pinched with the thumb and index. Okay. And the third measure. And then the fourth measure, I know it's not on the screen, but... So measures 1 and 2 can be repeated. I wrote it out. I wrote it all out, of course. But yeah, measures 1 and 2 are the same as 3 and 4. So let's do that one more time. Let's do those first three. Ready, go. Measure 3, and I'm gonna play measure 4. All right, cool. So now I do want to take a moment and talk about the palm muting in the right hand, and I'll kind of address this more as we go, because I just want to focus on the arrangement, but I am palm muting in the right hand, and it gets at that thump. Now, for those of you who haven't done it, it can be a little tricky, but it's not as hard as you think. There are many harder things on guitar. This just takes a little bit of time to develop, but it adds a lot of effect to it, right? So my palm is sitting on the strings back here, okay? And I'm not muting the string, but I'm not letting the string ring. It's a fine line of being in the middle of that. So I'm just going to do the thumb work here with the mute. And literally my right hand, I know it's hard to see, try to get a better view for you, but it's just sitting on the strings back here. And it's, if I let it ring, whoops, totally works and sounds fine, but I want to get more of that thump, that thud. And to me, that gives it a little bit more of a bluesy attitude or flavor. And again, it takes a little while to develop, but again, I'm not letting it ring, right? I'm not letting it ring, but I'm not completely just letting the, muting the string entirely. I'm just, again, palm muting. And I'm also what also helps is digging in. Like, I'm really putting some force in my thumb, I, of course, don't want to overdo it, but I am, quote unquote, digging in on my strings. And that helps the overall feel. So you can just sit around and do that for hours, for those of you that are new. Thump, thud, thud, or a chunk sound. I'm searching for a thud or a chunk sound, okay? So that's what palm muting is a little bit about, and if you don't get it right away, that's okay. If you're just trying to get into this fingerstyle thing, then I would just do that and add the thumb or add the muting later, Okay, add the muting later. So let's move on. Let's move on to the arrangement. So the next 3 measures sound like this. Ready, go. Whoops. Okay, so we're moving on to a D chord, right? Finishing up with the A, and then D. Okay, and also if you haven't downloaded the tabs, just a reminder that you click the link below, and you can sign up at my site. And in the free member area, you can download the tabs for free in a little PDF. Free lesson. We're going to walk through the whole video here on YouTube or Facebook, but you can download the lesson. If you're a member at the site, then you already have this stuff, or you can already access it, again, in the free member area. You can download tabs. So, measure 3, again, we're going to just pinch the low A in the 2nd fret G. And then the thumb's going to continue, D string, low E, D string. Okay, now we're going to go to a D chord. So I'm going to pinch the D string and the 2nd fret E string. Okay, so the melody goes up to that high E note, which is an F sharp actually. Okay, and then the thumb's going to bounce on the G string, 2nd fret, and you're already there. And then the low A, and then the 2nd fret G again. So here's our alternate thumb for the D. You can just do measure 4 over and over, or just the thumb. And then add that pinch when you're ready. Okay, and then the next measure, I'm going to pinch the D string and the 3rd fret B. The thumb's going to continue to do its pattern. Okay, so the 2 D measures together, ready, go. Again, just those 2 measures, they're new. Okay, so I'm going to put the first 4, 5, 6 bars together here from the top. So 1, 2, ready, go. D chord. Cool. So there's the first 6 bars. We're gonna see a lot of this stuff repeat. So if you can get those first 6 bars, you have over half the piece. Okay? Yeah, there it is. So let's move on. All right, so continue on here with measures 7, 8, and 9. And we go back to an A chord, and it's a couple of measures of what we've already done. Okay, so it's the same as measures 1 and 2, and then we get to an E chord. So here's what it sounds like. And then we're going to go to the E. Okay. So again, measures 7 and 8 are the same as 1 and 2. So I'm not going to cover those 2 in depth, but we got a pinch there with the A and the B. And then the thumb is continuing to do its thing, D string, low E, D string, and then pinch with the G string and the A string, and then D, low E, D. Okay, there it is. I'm going to move forward since we've already covered those in depth. And then we go to an E chord. So we're going to pinch the low E in the 1st fret of the G string. Okay, and then the thumb is going to bounce low E, and then the D string, 2nd fret, and then the A string, 2nd fret, back to the D string, 2nd fret. Again, you don't have to move anything in the left hand. Should have mentioned that earlier, maybe. Just kind of repeating that measure. So that's the pattern for the thumb. Alternate bass in E. Again, just breaking it down maybe without the pinch. It's great practice. Getting comfortable. So those 3 measures again. 2, ready, go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next 3 measures here. Continuing on with an E chord, and we go to D7 this time. So here it is. 2, ready, go. All right. So over the E chord, we're going to pinch the E string and the open B. Okay. That's going to be the pinch there, and the thumb's going to continue to do its thing as always. D, low E, D, I'm sorry, I'll do that again. D string, A string, and then the D string. Okay, so. My B string might be slightly out of tune. So, and then we're going to go to a D7 chord, okay? And we're going to pinch the D string and the B string first fret. And then the thumb is going to continue its pattern for the D chord. So pinch, and then G, low E, A, and then G. And then the next measure is going to be a D chord. So we're going to have to use our pinky here. Or you can simply move into your regular D shape. Either one will be totally fine. You could just flip your fingers around. Or use the pinky to grab that 3rd fret note. Either one, totally cool. So I'll pinch the D string and the B, 3rd fret, and the thumb will continue to do its thing. G, low A, G. So as you noticed, perhaps, maybe you noticed, but the melody pretty much changes on the downbeat of each measure. It's just a really basic, simple melody, but it kind of just changed on the downbeat of each measure. So those 3 measures one more time. Ready, go. Okay, and let's move on to the last few measures here. So we get back to an A chord. So, 3, 6, 9, 12. So measure 13. Go back to that A, and we pinch the low A and the B string. And then the thumb does its thing. D, low E, back to D. So we've done that already, a bunch. And then the E chord, we're going to go to E for just one measure. So we're going to pinch the B string in the low E. And then the D, and then right here we're going to pinch again. The only other time it pinches twice in one measure. So the A string 2nd fret, G string 1st fret, and then the thumb's going to play the D string again. So that measure. So just again, there's just an extra pinch on there. The melody does change on beat 3 there, the only time, otherwise just on the downbeat of the measures. Then I go back to A, and I'm going to pinch the low A and the G string, and then D, low E, D, and then the last measure is exactly the same as that, pinch. Okay, so those 3 measures, or actually I'll play all 4 of those measures again. Here we go. 2, 3, go. One last time. 2, 3, go. Cool. All right. So that's the entire lesson. Okay. Make sure you print out the tabs if you haven't already done so. And then for those of you that kind of follow my stuff, on Friday I'm going to always come out with a featured lesson, and I'm going to just do an intermediate version of this. We're going to spice it up just a little bit. But this is supposed to be just a basic beginning arrangement for those of you looking to get into, fingerstyle, Travis style, bluesy fingerstyle stuff, okay? So I'm going to play the whole thing through from the top, and you can play along or listen or whatever, but I want to give you one more sense of how it all goes together. Okay, so from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the beginning, okay? All right, so that's it. Throw that palm muting in there when you get a little bit more comfortable with the arrangement, and your thumb. Again, it's all about the thumb, as maybe you have heard from other people, but it is just getting that alternate bass down. Just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until it's just second nature. I mean, it's what we need. It may take some time, but it's a cool technique, right? And it sounds great. So that's it for this beginning lesson. I hope you enjoy. If questions or comments, leave them below. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.